So Chaser is, like our slogan says, it's what you think it's for. It is the perfect chaser. So when you are doing a shot and you need something to palate cleanse, it tastes really good and you end up drinking the whole can.
Hey friends, welcome to Above the Fold podcast. I'm your host, Jess Servion. We're going to be talking about everything in your customer's journey. You're going to learn things about customer experience, brand experience, and marketing secrets that help you drive your brand success. So stay tuned, buckle up, and let's get into the episode.
I'm joined by Jess Carroll and Jess Moran, and this is the 3 Jess episode. So my friends here, the Jesses, they are the founders of a new beverage brand called Chaser. I'm going to let Jess Carroll explain to you what Chaser is, and we're going to get into it.
Yeah, we're excited to be here, surrounded by a room of Jessicas. So Chaser is, like our slogan says, it's what you think it's for. It is the perfect chaser. So think when you're doing a tequila shot, when you are doing a vodka shot, and you need something to palate cleanse and get that gross, icky shot taste out of your mouth, that is this. And it tastes really good and keeps you hydrated. So you end up drinking the whole can, sipping on it for the whole night.
I love it. I'm super excited that you both are here, and we're going to talk about Chaser. And in a moment, for those viewing, we're actually going to try the product out like this is QVC up in here. But I actually met these 2 lovely ladies at a party in Los Angeles a couple weeks ago, and you guys came in like a ball of fire with your Chaser drinks. And I thought this is like, I mean, there's a lot of beverage drinks out there, but I think that Chaser is really interesting and speaks to a particular audience for sure. But I think it also solves a problem. And this is why I wanted you guys on the episode. Before we get into it, Jess, Roxana,
Yes.
I would love to hear a little bit about, like, tell me what inspired you to create this brand.
So Jess and I are best friends from college. So we've known each other since we were like 21, 20, I don't
Even
remember.
before that.
Yeah. And, you know, we like to go out. We like to have fun. We like to have a good time. And that often involves taking shots. So there was one night where we were hosting a pregame for Jamie XX. We were going to go to see him at the Hollywood Bowl. And we had all our friends over, and it was that time of the night where like the Ubers were getting called. We were going to take a shot. You know, it's like the last free alcohol before the night. So we're rounding up the troops, getting everyone to take a shot, and we're looking for a chaser. And all we had was like some ginger ale, some old ginger ale, like some stale limes, and like maybe some cranberry juice. So, you know, everyone's just like dreading it, like, oh, there's nothing that's going to really cover the taste, but you just have to do it. So, you know, we just looked at each other. We're just like, there has to be something better. So we made it. And
Nice.
that is how we started Chaser.
Well, before I get into like the depths of all of these questions, I just want to point out for anybody viewing, the branding on here is really beautiful, and we'll get into more of it. But I would love to know, like, do I shoot first and then drink the Chaser? Like, how does it work?
It's up to you. I normally do even before Chaser existed, when I was just chasing with like cranberry juice, I always do like a little chaser, shot, chaser, just like a sandwich of it.
A sandwich of Chaser.
And I found that works best. But however you would normally chase, you could do it just shot, chaser, however you would normally do it.
Listen to the sound. This is some ASMR for the,
Yes.
hold on.
Yeah, the little tapping.
Wait, you have nails. You have to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and the cracking open. All right, let's take a shot.
Let's
Let's have a moment. Cheers, Jess's and Corey in the
Cheers.
back. I'm gonna sandwich. Ooh. Oh man, that kills the taste. That's good. I love that.
It does.
I like your slogan on here. You know what it's for.
Yeah. We're very clear on the purpose of it.
Yeah, we thought it'd be fun to be just like self-aware. We're not like a serious brand. We're a party brand. And so,
Yeah.
you know, Chaser, you know what it's for. Some mischief in there. We're all about mischief, the fun.
Yeah. I want to get into like design and brand experience, but before we get to that point, because I actually have a ton of questions and really, and I want to hear like just how you came up with it. I'm really curious though, did you guys always want to be entrepreneurs?
So I feel like I've always had like an entrepreneurial I can't even say the word entrepreneurial spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I like have the story of when I was younger. I'm from LA, so I grew up like close to here. And we have like the wholesale district in downtown. I don't know if you've been to it. So you can get like everything in wholesale, jewelry, clothes, like all sorts of stuff. And I used to make my mom take me down there and buy jewelry for like, it was like just little beaded bracelets for like a dozen for like $1. And then I would pack them up in like a little lunch bag and take it to school and then sell it to the girls at school for like $1 a piece. So my margins were really high.
Yes.
And then my mom wouldn't make her pay her back. So it was really, it was really profitable for me. But yeah, I feel like I've always just like done that. I work in music now. But I've always sort of had that where I'm like, I eventually just want to be my own boss and just work for myself. So I still have a full-time job at the moment. So I'm doing both right now. But yeah, I think eventually I would love to just, we're doing it now. So we'd just love to be my own boss and work for myself.
Yeah. What about you, JC?
Yeah, I think for sure. So growing up, my dad started his own company. So I think growing up and seeing that and having him as a role model, I think I just looked up to it and decided that's what I also want to do. And yeah, I think just early on, I just liked seeing him have complete control over his time and seeing him build something from scratch. And it was inspiring. And so I think I always had it in me. And a funny story though about me and Jess is before this point of starting Chaser, we had a bunch of funny, random, like entrepreneurial ideas where we wanted to start a murder mystery company.
Oh yeah, we did do that.
Oh my God, yes.
Like we've had like a funny streak for years of like, what are we gonna do? We threw a New Year's party one year and it was such a hit that we're like, oh, we're going to go into a murder mystery party planning business because we had a murder mystery at the New Year's party.
Yeah.
And we thought we were so innovative and like.
And there was like there was like a few companies that did it, but it was just like a PDF with like all of the characters and they were so outdated. They were all like 1920s, like speakeasy vibes. And we were just like, there's no like modern murder mystery. Like we should do one, like make it like COVID or something. And like who brought the COVID to the party?
Yes. Oh my God, that would be so good.
Yeah. We like bought a domain and everything. We just never went through it. We like built out the characters. We should revisit.
I know. And then we had another idea for like J2 Productions.
Oh yeah.
I think we have the domain for that maybe. And we were also... I don't know. We were creating like Bad Bunny themed merch.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like the two of us, I mean, we've been friends for so long and we have a lot of ideas but Chaser was the one that was really calling us. But I think us combined, we tend to, I don't know, want to pursue something more.
It's that entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
I can't really say it that well either, so don't feel so bad, JC.
I'm going to blame it on the tequila.
Question. Okay, so a lot of people like being like, obviously you're in a partnership, right? Mm-hmm. So did you always know that you wanted to be in a partnership or, I mean, I understand that you guys were friends, right? But like, did you individually be like, I want to be a solopreneur, entrepreneur, and then you came together with this like idea, or you just kept coming up with like ideas together? Like, tell me about that journey, like a little bit.
I think, to Jess's point, like we just kept coming up with ideas together and we just landed on one that stuck. So I think it was just natural that way. Like we never really like set out to be one or the other. We just like always had ideas together and we just figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we're good at like pushing each other. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I know if Jess is in, then I'm in. And I think vice versa. So I think we just feed off of each other's energy.
Yeah. Entrepreneurial partnerships is definitely a relationship,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And it's actually not for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, some people are solely a solo entrepreneur. Like for me, like I know that I want to be a solo entrepreneur, and it's not a control thing or any of those things. Like I just,
Yeah, you just work best.
I've done
on your own.
partnership
Yeah.
and I don't want to do that, you know, like, but I like work best by myself, but with people too.
Mhm.
Cool. Well, I think it's really interesting that so you guys came up with the idea and then you just bootstrapped it. What's like the first step? I want to start my own brand one day. Like, what is that tactical advice to give somebody about like what that first step would be in creating your idea and bringing it to life?
For us, it was a ton of research. So we wanted to create the perfect chaser. So we spent countless and countless hours literally buying everything we could get our hands on at the grocery store and really testing it like scientifically, like what are the chaser options? Why are they working? Why are they not working? And so I would say getting started is really doing your research and learning as much as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a whole like spreadsheet with like fizziness, tanginess, sweetness, like checking off like what all these things had and like what worked and what didn't.
Yeah.
And then after that was also just research in the formulation companies. And so we spoke to a ton of different formulation companies. Something that was important for us was that we could actually go to the lab. And so we wanted to find a local one in Southern California. And we did. We ended up going with OBI is the name of the formulation company there in the Valley. And we were like in the lab, 8 a.m., taking shots. We were making like the food scientists.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Shots for science is what we called it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But that was like a really important part of the process for us because we wanted it to actually do its job and cover the alcohol. So we had to test it with alcohol.
Mhm.
So yeah, we were doing shots at 8 a.m. in the Valley.
Shots for science.
Multiple times.
Shots for
a week.
science.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, and we were using bad tequila too because we were like, if you're going to create a chaser, it needs to stand up against the worst types of alcohol out there. It can't be like a nice smooth tequila that doesn't need a chaser. You need like the scary plastic bottle stuff.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Absolutely. Like that's the whole point of your chaser working. Absolutely. So I'm curious, like, all right, so we're in the lab, we're like developing it. Like how long was that process till you found your formula and then canned it?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it was a couple of months.
Yeah.
Because so we first had like our initial call with them, sort of told them what we were looking for in terms of the flavor profile. And then they go back and create a couple of options for us. And we taste tested it. And then we had our notes. And so it was like 3 rounds of notes or 3 rounds of edits, basically. And each one, we'd go like 2 or 3 weeks probably between the edits. So it took a couple of months. And like in between too, they would send us samples. So we maxed out like our sample allotment, I think, but we were like, please send us as many samples as you can produce in this lab. And then we were taste testing it with our friends too. So we had a night in Hollywood where we like rented out this bar and had all of our friends come and just give us their like unfiltered, honest feedback on it, and then took that feedback and revised it. And so it was a couple of months of that, probably like 4 months total, maybe
4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, we really took into account feedback from our friends, like our focus groups, and would tweak it accordingly. And so by the end, we were just super happy with the formula. And of course, I do want to point out, we have also on the can, we have this little guy.
Yeah.
This is Buddy the Taste Bud. He is also a co-founder. And so he was a big part of, creating the secret recipe as well.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to get into my favorite subject because you already dipped us in here. Okay. I want to talk about like the boring part about like consumer research, but because I think that is really important, but we'll circle back on that. I want to talk about how did you what's really important, right, in a customer's journey. So I don't care if it's like developing the product, you've already had the product on the market for a long time, any of this stuff. The brand experience is so important because that's what like brings your customer in to like wanting your product, feeling your products, like all of those things, right? What was as entrepreneurs, I have my brand, I have my idea, I've got my formulation, like tell me about the process of coming up with Buddy. Like he's his mascot, like Frosted Flakes. Wait, Tony the Tiger, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me that story.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy, but Buddy found us.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's a good guy.
He just DM'd us one day on Instagram. He said, "These two Jessicas look like a fun bunch."
They need me.
Yeah.
He's like, they're at the club. They're out a lot. They're doing a lot of shots. And
I have something to help them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he is a taste bud. So, he was conscious of what we were putting our tongues through every time we were doing shots and drinking bad alcohol. And so really, we got lucky in that he found us.
Yeah.
And he just happens to be really cute and marketable.
He's a cute guy.
I know.
He's a cute guy in the bottom right-hand corner of the can.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. He's a good co-founder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's our favorite drinking buddy.
And that's why it's Buddy's Chaser,
Right.
Mhm.
but known as Chaser.
Yeah.
Cute. So what did you go, like, tell me about like the packaging process though. Like, how did you go through that process? Like, I would love to, like, if I'm an entrepreneur out there and I'm listening to this episode, right? Like, because I think entrepreneurial ship is like, so I said entrepreneurial.
You said
ship.
it correctly, though. It
Wait.
sounded good.
Oh
Yeah,
it
it
was
sounded really
like
good.
slid off the tongue. It's because Buddy helped me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Buddy's cheering you on.
Yeah. Buddy's cheering me on. So, when you're out there and you're like developing out a product, like, obviously we've gotten like, okay, we've gotten the formula and we've done this, but like, branding is just such an important part of a product, right? How do you like do you go out and get designers? Like, do you have an idea in your mind? Are you mood boarding? Like, how do you get to the final product of the brand for you?
Yeah, we did a lot of mood boarding.
Yeah.
And luckily enough, we worked with a close friend who is a designer on the brand design. And we were lucky enough that she was willing to go through so many different explorations, because I don't think we even knew what we wanted when we began with the brand. And so, yeah, we really just compiled designs and things that we liked on Pinterest and stuff we saw on other, I would say, brands from mostly the 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, to your point about it feeling like, what was his name? The tiger.
Tony the
Tiger. Like, we really wanted to tap into that 90s nostalgia. Like, we were both millennials, and so we always really were drawn to that. And luckily, Buddy just happens to look like one of them. So
yeah. I mean, like, it is really interesting that you bring that up, because like when we were younger, and maybe this is still the case, like, I don't know, because like, to be honest with you, I don't like eat that much cereal. I don't like look at like toys and kids things and that type of programming anymore. But I think it's really interesting is like, as millennials, like how we were sold to based off of mascots, you know?
There's like the Kool-Aid Man,
The Kool-Aid
Captain
Man,
Crunch,
Bart Simpson. Bart Simpson had like a lot of deals, y'all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That guy had a lot of deals.
Yeah, he's doing well.
I know. I hope now he's living off of those royalties
I hope so too.
in
He
his
had a
like
good
mansion.
agent.
Yeah. He had a really good agent. I hope Buddy gets a good agent.
Yeah.
Oh, we're working on it. We're talking to a few of them.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah, I think it's like really interesting that, as children, you're sold to by these like mascots, these tiny characters. And I love that you guys like brought that kind of like retro aspect back, and creating Buddy as a persona. What are you hoping that your customers' interactions are with Buddy? Like, how are you going to like continue building that brand voice?
Yeah. I mean, so Buddy's been mostly private so far, but he's slowly posting more online, and so we would hope that our future customers interact with him online, and he'll probably be commenting on things, tweeting some things.
Yeah
We're kind of pulling him out of his shell.
Yeah, he's a silent partner right now.
Yeah.
But he's got to get out
pushing
there.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, but also to your point about brand mascots growing up in the 90s, I think it also helps in that you have this strong personality associated with the brand, and it kind of puts a face to the brand and gives people someone to love and to resonate with.
Yeah.
And like,
no, I agree.
if we just want it, whenever you see Buddy, we want everyone to just feel like they're gonna have a good time. Like Buddy is at all the fun places, he's at all the cool parties, and so like if Buddy's around, it's gonna be a good night.
It's gonna be a good night.
How are you guys thinking about experiential marketing, like pop-ups, going to like, I don't know, clubs? Like, what are you like envisioning that being at some point?
Yeah. Ooh.
I mean, I think
Buddy, the world is your oyster.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think there's a lot we can do with Buddy. Like we definitely see him IRL, like a real, Buddy's walking around handing out
like a Kool-Aid man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
In like a whole outfit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
For sure.
So we definitely see him, he'll show up to your pregame, you hit up the Buddy hotline, he might show up to your pregame. But we definitely see him in person. And like to your point about clubs and things like that, like that's where people are consuming shots. So we definitely don't want to do sampling at like those kind of events. And I come from like a music background, and we do a lot of experiential events and things like Coachella, which is just like every brand ever has a pop-up there. We definitely see it in places like that where people are just having a good time because there's usually alcohol involved, and Chaser's really just like an alcohol companion. So if there's ever a party with alcohol, like Chaser will be there.
Yeah. I wanted to go back to like that Kool-Aid man thing because it actually made me think of the story. Like, I don't know if you guys knew this, but before my life now, I worked at Feastables, the Mr. Beast brand. And one of the things that I had to do in the beginning was, so in the beginning, we actually had a mascot, and it was called Feasty, right? Feasty was killed off the island. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, he was like done, right? But one of the things that we had to do was we got like a mascot outfit, right? And I was actually really surprised that like there's such a huge market for mascot outfits. And I guess like maybe I shouldn't be surprised because like colleges still have them, like all of these sports teams and stuff. But like we had this like massive blue Feasty that we would like carry around to like schools and all these places that was like weighed thousands of pounds. Okay.
Did you ever have to wear it?
I never wore it. I would always hire somebody to wear it because I was like, I'm way too short for this. I cannot do this. But I did put it on once, and like
those things are hot.
So hot.
Yeah.
So hot.
Yeah. I don't know how I know this, but I feel like I've worn one before, and I'm trying to remember where I wore it, but I've definitely been in like a mascot outfit before.
Now I need to know.
And I don't know where I did it, but I've had a lot of odd jobs, so maybe it was at one of those. I can't remember where, but I know that they're hot and sweaty, and like unless some of the fancy ones have like an AC in them. Like a little.
Yeah. Spend the money to get the AC, especially if you guys go to a club or Coachella.
Yeah. But he deserves it.
But he does deserve it.
Yeah. He needs to not sweat. Yeah, definitely. So I want to like circle back to just kind of like marketing, and like I'd love to get y'all's take on this because you guys are so in the beginning stages of like your founder's journey and your founder story. What is your perspective on incorporating the founder story into marketing? So, a lot of brands will like double down on like maybe having videos or this or that on like the website or reels and like being a part of that social story and like not just like the buddy piece of it, like telling the story about like y'all as friends and like sharing that with your audience. Like what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, what's number one has been storytelling in general. And so whether it's about us personally as friends or buddy, I think we just really see the importance of like telling that compelling story to the customer, whether it's about us or the brand overall.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's like necessary for every brand, but I do feel like consumers now are really hyper aware of like who they're buying from, where it's coming from, is it eco-friendly, like all of this stuff. And so if there is a compelling founder story that people can attach themselves to or that will really reel them in, then I think it does help to have one.
Yeah.
But I don't think every brand needs one, because not every brand has like a super compelling story. Like sometimes people just wanted to make something that was cool. And then...
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree with you. I think it makes sense for some brands, but I don't think it makes sense for all brands. I think if it's like a very like close story, like maybe like a mother in a diaper company,
Right.
right? Like
Yeah.
that's a very like close story that's like talks about like a lot of feels and emotionality of that customer journey. But I don't think every, like if you're a salad spinner,
Right.
does the founder really need to tell that story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Probably
it's
not.
like, this is a cool invention that I had. Like,
Yeah.
I'd love to talk to you guys more about like distribution. Like, what are you guys thinking? Like, are you thinking like direct to consumer, online sales? Are you thinking retail? And like, just what's that process looking like for you guys?
Yeah.
You want to?
Yeah, I would say the dream would be getting into retail
Mhm.
because shipping carbonated liquids online is very, very expensive. So, of course, we are beginning having that DTC channel, but at the end of the day, we really want to be in 7-Eleven. We want to be in your local grocery store.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So we have a store set up now, but just D2C. But yeah, like to Jess's point, it's so expensive to ship. So
Yeah,
it's not the best option, but it's our only option for now. So we're working on the distribution, and we're learning too. Like this is the first time we've ever even, you know, delved into the beverage world, and so we're like learning about like a distributor and like when's the right time to get a distributor, and like do you need a salesperson and all of that. And
Yeah.
it's like it seems like a kind of like antiquated system from what we've learned so far, but yeah, we're figuring it all out. But yeah, the goal is to eventually get into the grocery stores and the 7-Elevens and
Yeah.
on the shelves at the Erewhon.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like obsessed with fucking Erewhon.
so good.
Have you gone since you've been in town?
No, not yet. I have not made my journey there yet. You guys,
Gotta make the pilgrimage.
I really think it's going to be tonight. I'm going to eat my...
There's one in Culver City, not far.
I'm going to go there soon. I got to get my buffalo cauliflower.
I really want to try the new Hailey Bieber soft serve.
Me too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
heard it's good.
I hope that on all of these reels, they bring up these items. Like it's like McDonald's items.
Yes.
I
Just like with a
know.
little spoon.
I know. Guys, like for anybody listening out there, if you don't know what Erewhon is, just literally look it up on social channels. There's like entire TikToks about it. There's Instagram accounts about it. It is so insane. It's very expensive, but it's like, wow, it's like CPG heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Yeah.
Right?
I could spend hours in there just looking at everything. The design.
The can. Yeah, there's so many cool cans there.
So many. And it's like so perfectly merchandised too.
Mhm.
Man, that's the cream of the crop type of grocery store though. It's like, yes, it might be very overly priced, don't get me wrong, it's definitely overly priced, but that entire experience that you walk in there, everything is very perfect. There's not one thing out of place.
It's very well curated.
Very well curated.
Mhm.
Like I said, every CPG brand you can think of is in that store.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like I have to choose the right outfit to go to Erewhon.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, I want to ask you some hot takes, random questions.
Ooh, it's that
Okay.
spicy time of
Spicy
podcast.
time.
Do we need another shot?
Yeah, I know. Where is it? Okay, what were you what were you? Where were you the first time you saw someone drinking your beverage?
Ooh, I think.
Not spicy, just more
I
excited.
think that dive bar
Yeah.
in Hollywood, East Hollywood.
Yeah, but we rented it out, so
Okay.
it was during our formulation process, and this was like the first formula that we felt was ready to be taste tested amongst our peers, and so we rented out this bar in Hollywood and did taste testing there. So that was probably the first time.
And how did that feel?
It was so cool. Everyone
Yeah.
was like, "We made this."
It was surreal. I
Yeah.
think it truly still feels surreal that this exists and it is ours. But yeah, that shot bar night. Oh, and we were the worst. We sent out a Google survey the next day to all of our friends being like, how many shots did you take last night? And I kid you not, the average was around like 7.
Yeah, it was like 7 to 10.
But then if you also go down on the Google sheet or survey, it was like, but how hungover are you today? And people weren't that hungover. It was really minimal.
because it has electrolytes and it has vitamin C, which we never set out to be like a healthy drink or
Yeah.
like curing your hangover, but it kind of does really help. With
it
the hangovers.
does. It's crazy.
Honestly, even if you like don't drink alcohol with it, like I have to say that it's very so the best way to describe it to anybody listening out there, and if you've made it this far, is it's tangy. So it feels, so the vitamin C, I get that piece of it, but it kind of tastes like a better for you tang in a way. I mean, I don't know if you have, am I giving you compliments right now?
No, I grew up having tang, so
Yeah, same.
I love it.
So it kind of feels like a better for you tang in a way. And there's the right amount of like seltzer spice to it. And what I mean by that is carbonation. I call it salt spice. But I would actually drink this even without taking a shot. Like I would drink this even as like a regular soda. So it can be utilized as an NA.
Yeah.
Because I mean there's no alcohol in it.
Right.
At all.
Yeah. We've like I said, we didn't set out to be like a health drink, but we also never set out to be like a mixer. But we're just finding more use cases for it as people are, and like if you're at a party and like you don't really necessarily want to drink alcohol, but you don't want people to ask you if you want to drink, like you could just have a chaser in your hand and like they don't know if there's alcohol in this or not. Maybe you poured a shot, maybe you didn't, maybe like you're just So we're finding more use cases for it than we intended, which is cool.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. I think that's like a good like consumer research like feedback loop for you guys to get into as like you are beginning this like founder journey, you know?
Thirsty.
What brand inspires you? JC first.
Ooh, what brand inspires me?
It can't be Erewhon.
It can't be Erewhon. I feel like, and staying true to like the Jessica's brand, I feel like I would say Hot Cheetos.
Oh, yeah.
Because Hot Cheetos, after all these years, has remained true to itself. It knows exactly what it is, and we snack on it a lot, and it brings us a lot of joy and inspiration.
Yeah, we are Hot Cheetos stands. Then like going back to your question about founder story, have you heard about the maybe true or maybe not true story behind the Hot Cheetos? Yeah.
Well, like let's tell a little bit about it. Like, do you have the TLDR version?
Yeah. So basically, the story was that it was founded, or that Hot Cheetos were invented by a janitor that was working at the Frito-Lay, right? Is it Frito-Lay? Yeah, the Frito-Lay company. And he like took home some unflavored Cheetos and like made his own spices at home with his family and then brought it back and like pitched it to them. But now I don't know if that's true or not. Apparently it might not be. I don't know. There's a movie about it. Eva Longoria produced it. Great movie. Very inspirational.
But we don't even know if it's
real.
Know.
Frito, I guess the execs have said that that's not true, that he wasn't even an employee during that time. I don't know, but I love the story. So
yeah, we love the story.
We love a good founder story.
Yeah, so whether it's true or not, I don't know, but I'm going to still eat the Hot Cheetos.
I know. Okay, this is truly a hot take.
Oh, I'm nervous.
And I will answer this one too for you.
Okay.
What beverage seriously disappointed you? JC first.
Can it be a funny answer?
Give me whatever you want.
I would say the original Four Loko.
Oh.
Because that, I mean, I think I was throwing up blue liquid like immediately after.
Yeah.
I think it just went too hard.
Yeah, went too hard.
It went too hard.
Literally in the food coloring. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like literally one of the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah. What about you?
That's hard. Maybe Fanta, because they the Fanta girls, where'd they go?
Yeah.
I love the Fanta girls.
I miss the Fanta.
I was a Fantana for Halloween one year, me and my friends.
I was too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, which color were you?
Yellow.
Oh, I was orange.
I got bullied into yellow.
Pineapple's good.
But like, what happened to them?
Yeah.
They were great. Why did they get voted off the island?
Yeah, we should Google it, honestly, because I'm really curious about it.
So I think that's what the three of us focus on now. Like the Jessicas are gonna find the Fanta girls.
Yes.
Or we
this
can be
is
the
our
new
mission.
Fanta girls.
Yeah. We can be the Fanta girls.
And Buddy will be the fourth.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Problem solved.
Okay, what's yours?
Staying on like the alcohol trend with JC, Buzzball. And I'm going to get so in trouble for this one.
I love a Buzzball.
I do. They are so gross. They are so gross.
Which flavor?
All of them.
The other day I was at a store and they make like the giant
ones? Yeah. what?
I know.
But I get it. It's a phenomenon. I get it. Maybe
So
not
what
a
disappointed
phenomenon.
you? The flavor?
Just like, yeah, I would say the flavor. I think it's like too alcohol forward.
Mhm.
I don't want to taste it. Like, I don't know. I just didn't like it. I thought it was gross.
Did it do its job though?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You got a buzz.
Yeah, the buzz ball.
Oh, man. All right. We have hit the end of the road, my friends. Let's go one by one. Jess Carroll, where can the people find you?
Well, I think I'm going to promote Chaser, like the Chaser Instagram.
Yeah.
Find us at Got Chaser on Instagram, soon to be TikTok, and gotchaser.com.
Cool. And Jess Roxana?
Yeah, I mean, I guess same. You can.
Yeah. Fair.
We come as a package
Maybe
deal.
we need to make like a joint Instagram account.
Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate y'all coming on. It's been really fun. And to the audience, we will put getchaser.com in the show notes and all of the social media handles. And I appreciate you guys listening. Toodles. Bye.
Bye.
Dang, we've made it to the end of the podcast and you're still here. So thank you so much for listening to Above the Fold podcast. For the best of this episode and every episode, be sure to follow us on Instagram and my YouTube channel. And for deeper dives on the secrets to brand success, don't forget to subscribe to my weekly newsletter, Sunday Postcards. All right, my dudes and gals, see you next week.